like a fade. Praying they don't lock us up in the cage from chopping the white on the plate with the blade.
Alright, you're now tuned in with Strong United Voices. It's your boy D.
It's your girl Black.
What's going on? It's your boy B Will.
And this is Miss Lovely, and we got a guest on our show today, Mr. Pastor Kenny Simmons. Okay, well, Pastor Kenny Simmons, you know. All right. So we want to give a shout out to our engineers, which is Jayla and Michaela Hollins behind the scene. And we're just going to go over, as we normally do, discussing about the shootings. We now at a total at 75 shootings. Okay. Now I'm going on, which I always touch on, what the mayor was saying, and he released a statement on the 16th saying, you know, it's been violent. It's been violent in the month of June, but the shootings kind of slowed down. And he's basically saying that the police is doing a great job of answering these calls, okay? And they're working around the clock to make the community safe. Now, we talking about shootings. I just want to bring up a point that how Chicago gets down. Chicago did a 64 shooting. I don't know why we looking like we having competitions or competing here, but they did that over the weekend. 64 shootings and 13 fatal. Okay, and we're talking about 75 within the past 2 months together. Okay, so right now we want to get a little educated here, which Mr. Simmons is here to do today with us, to kind of give us the background of what Mayor Brown, because as me and him talked before earlier about how we were trying to find out if Mayor Brown, why he's not doing nothing, why he's not saying nothing, you know, what is his position, what is his place, and so he's going to give us a little insight on that. And then by us going live, guys, we're going to be letting you know when it's time to call in and ask any questions. But we're going to let Mr. Simmons get down to with the Mayor Brown and all black businesses that we do not know that's in the city of Buffalo. So we're going to touch a couple topics here today. All right, Mr. Simmons, what you got for us about Mayor Brown, as we were talking earlier?
I just want to, clear, I'm not speaking on behalf of the mayor. So I just want to just say that right now. I'm the director of youth and recreation for the city of Buffalo, but outside of that, I am what you would consider, I wouldn't call myself a community activist, I call myself a servant of the community. So when we talk about, the mayor's statement, I can't tell you why he say what he say, but only thing I can do is give you facts, on what the mayor's capabilities of, and that's stuff that you can research and that you can review yourself based on state legislation, federal legislation, county and city legislation ordinances. So as far as gun violence in the community, this is a fact, since the COVID, there have been millions of people that have registered guns. There have been millions of people since this pandemic, and even in the in the state of New York, hundreds of thousands of people have tried to get firearms. So since this pandemic, there has been a lot of firearm license requests. But what we see here in the city of Buffalo, we see an increase in gun violence because there are hundreds and hundreds of guns, coming on the streets. These boys even have Dracos, 100-round clips, you know what I'm saying, to go on pistols. Now, the guns are not coming from Genesee Street. The guns are not coming from Goodyear. The guns are not coming from Central Park. Most of the guns that you see coming here in the city of Buffalo are from a place called Mansville, Ohio. It's called the High Point Gun Manufacturing Company. And so this is how these guns get to the city of Buffalo. I have a driver's license in the city of Mansville, Ohio, and I can buy up to 100 guns a day. Right? So according to, and I'm going to get to this legislation in this Tyhart bill that allows gun manufacturers to sell 100 guns a day to one specific person, and according to federal law, that the business transaction of that gun is destroyed within 24 hours of the purchase. Therefore, a gun cannot be traced back to his origin. And I need you to know that these people who making these guns, they don't look like us. They're not the Buffalo police. They're not the young boys on the block. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely not the mayor of the city of Buffalo, right? And so what happens is these straw buyers will buy these guns in Ohio, and somebody, will purchase them you know, from them, and that's how these guns get to our community. So I need you to know that the number one cause of death for young African American males is gun violence, not from rifles but from pistols. You can see with the 70 plus shootings or homicides in the city of Buffalo, those were a direct result of handguns. Now, what we have to do, we have to get mad as hell about it when other ethnicities were getting their suburban schools shot up. You know, when you were going into those schools that were predominantly Caucasian with these rifles, Caucasians band together and they went to Washington, D.C., and now you have a ban on assault rifles because they came together as a community and they began to push up on their governmental legislators, you know, whether it be state, whether it be federals, and now you have had a national movement that did away with all assault rifles. So our kids are not getting killed by assault rifles. Our kids are not being killed with shotguns. Our kids are not being killed, you know what I'm saying, with AK-47s anymore. They're getting shot down with pistols. So we as a black community, there has to be an outrage of what's going on. And the outrage is not just for our youth and our children, but for the manufacturers of these guns, for the gun sellers, for this iron pipeline that's coming in from Ohio. So what we're doing at the MVP, we are trying to repeal the Todd-Tighart Amendment. This legislation says that even if a shadow buyer comes and buy a weapon in particular, that the people who make the guns and sell the guns cannot be held accountable. Okay. There needs to be an accountability for gun trafficking before they even hit the streets of the city of Buffalo. Because if we can repeal that amendment, then we won't have a flux of our young men carrying these pistols, you know, within the black community. So we're going to have several billboards go up. You're going to see billboards on Bailey. You're going to see billboards on Genesee. In Jefferson, you're going to see billboards by Burghardt High School. I think that's Kensington Avenue, saying to repeal the Tighart Amendment. You know, because we are tired of these guns coming in our community, you know, and we as, you know, African American people, there has to be an outrage. We need to flood the Congressman Higgins, you know, his phone lines. You know, we need to repeal this. You know, Chuck Schumer, Christine Gillibrand, all of these are federal elected officials on that level that can begin to move, you know, in a direction to get this amendment, you know, repealed.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, what part do you play? Now, I'm going to talk about a clip that was live with you guys after the protest with a young man down at City Hall. So we didn't see exactly how it started. All we got was you trying to basically educate the young man.
Right.
Basically, he was stating like, where's all the black businesses and who do you pay? And could you give us a little background on that situation? What happened?
It was during the rallies downtown, and so you had a bunch of us, you know, that go downtown, you know, and they help clean up. We're just going downtown from the protesting, you know, and you also see me and a lot of young sisters and brothers cleaning up Bailey Avenue.
Right, yes, we did.
Those were our kids. It's just like, you know, when your kid mess up the front room, you gotta go clean up behind your kids. You don't ridicule them, you don't talk about them, you don't dog them, you just go clean up the mess, because if we as the adults were out there, especially the men in the community, if we were out there supporting our kids in protest and not just leaving them out there, you know what I'm saying, to be shot by rubber bullets and things like that, you know, by the police department, you know, then it wouldn't have been as bad as it ended up. But so this young brother, and you know he wasn't from our community because he didn't have any idea of who I was. He didn't have any idea of who Mr. L. Nathan Hare was. He didn't have any idea who Marnetta Malcolm was. I mean, now we people that work in the community, you know. And so he began to say, there are no black business in this community, you know. And then he had the nerve to say, you don't live on the east side of Buffalo and you not out here in the fight. And I said, brother, that's when I got upset. Brother, you must not have no idea who you're talking to. I live in the trenches. I'm on the blocks. Before I go to church, you know, every Sunday morning, I'm actually hitting the block, handing out job applications, snatching out young boys off the corner, taking them home, even putting money in their pocket. You know, they'll be smoking their weed. They'll be like, oh, here come Pastor Kenny, put that down. I'll be like, man, you better smoke smoke your weed. This your block. It's a privilege for me to be coming on your block.
Okay,
So
here
you
we
got,
go.
You got to
Right.
understand that.
Okay,
You understand
okay.
what I'm saying? So he was, see, what we have to understand, like, even in the movement in the 60s and the 70s, they had what you call agent provocateurs, right? And they would look just like us. And they would come in the community, you know what I'm saying, to cause division and to cause strife amongst the ranks of the people. So this young brother was like, you don't work on the east side, you don't work with the kids. I'm known for working for the kids. I've been working with the kids for over 25 years. I'm only 48. I've been in the game, you know, for a long time. And so the young brother was talking about there are no black businesses. It's scores of black businesses in the city of Buffalo. And I pointed them to Buffalo Soul. It's the only, you know, there's a black restaurant downtown. And as you go up Genesee and as you go up Broadway, you know, and as you go on Jefferson, there's many black businesses in the city. As a matter of fact, Black Wall Street, which I'm a member of, you know, and our chairman is Buck Miller, you know, every Saturday, what we do, we find a black business and we get on our lives and we get on our Instagrams, we get on our Twitters. As soon as it opened, we out there. So we first started out with Anderson's Flower Shop, the only black flower shop in Western New York. And so we stood out there.
Where's that at?
It's right there on the corner of Glenwood and Fillmore.
Okay, see.
And so we stood there until we sold their whole inventory out.
Oh,
and
wow.
then the next Saturday we went across the street to the Hair Hive. There's some sisters that own the
I
only
was looking
black
for them.
hair store
Yeah.
right on the corner of Glenwood and Fillmore.
Okay.
And we sold almost all their inventory. And so then the next week we went to Buffalo Soul, which is the only African American restaurant downtown, and their business was flourishing for that day. You know, people in and out.
Now,
You know,
what's the name of that one?
Buffalo Soul.
Because, you know, we've been looking for a soul food place.
Listen, you got Buffalo Soul right downtown, and then on this Saturday, this was so phenomenal. There's a young brother that just bought the car wash on Naval and Bailey.
Tell me about
We
that.
stood out in front of that car. We in the middle of Bailey. I mean, people pulling up. We even have people that come on our Facebook that will cash app us just so somebody could get their car wash. Our brothers from out of town, our entrepreneurs, you know, BJ Hardy down in Atlanta, Jahan, you know, Turk, you know, even Uncle Neil Dobbins, you know, just to come,
Neil, that's what we were trying to-
just come off and just
Not
drop
to
off
cut
some
you
money.
off,
Yeah.
but that's the MVP I was telling you
Yeah, that's
about.
the MVP.
He's connected. So now maybe we can get connected.
Yeah, and so that's
he's
what I was talking.
connected to
That's who's leading the charge, Neil Dobbins, on getting the T-Hart Amendment repealed. And so this young brother clearly wasn't from the city of Buffalo, you know, and I guess he thought that we were just a bunch of, you know, bureaucrats tied to the administration, just coming downtown, you know, just trying to make. So when I finished talking to him, he said, "My bad, bro. You know, can I help?" I said, "Yeah, here's my number. Here's my address where I live at. Give me a call to come by." Have yet to hear from him. You know, so we have to understand that, you know, anything that anybody's doing in the community to help make a difference, you know, is to be commended. But it's going to take all of us, you know, as a whole. We cannot continue. We are the only ethnicity that blames government for everything, right? We blame government for everything. We blame government because it's too hot outside. We blame government because it's too much snow on the ground. We have to become more self-sufficient and self-reliant on one another. If we support black businesses, we won't have that much poverty in the black
That's
community
true. That's
because we'll be able to provide economic stability for our own kind. That's what other people do. If you look at Broadway, you know, and we grew up together, so I'm not just, you know, I'm from the streets. You know, I'm before I was Pastor Kenny, I was Kendall from Cold Spring. You know what I'm saying? And I'm known for coming. I'm from these streets. I've been on my own since I was 14. I was a dad at 14. You know what I'm saying? And you know my mom, so you know my story. And so the thing about it, you know, we as, you know, as black people, there has to be a change in the way we think. Now, if you look at Broadway, when we were growing up, it was predominantly white people on Broadway.
Yes, it was.
And it was business. And when you went to the Broadway market, you was saying something. You used to go get your Easter baskets, you know, before we understood what Easter really wasn't. Y'all to get that later on. But before we figured out what Easter wasn't, you would go to the Broadway market to get your Easter basket, get your eggs. I mean, Broadway, you know, that was like, well, you didn't have to go to the mall. It was owned by Caucasians. Then we moved in. You know, and Broadway kind of died down. But now here we go again. This is why I said there are no excuses. All of a sudden, these people from Bangladesh and Yemen and Iraq and all over the country. Now, if you look at Broadway, Domino Pizza, Metro PC, you know, all type, the Yemen Bakery, right there in that corridor, I would say from the Viaduct coming back down to Fillmore, businesses done popped up. You know what I'm saying? And so what those people do, and I need to dispel this myth, they're not getting any subsidies from the city of Buffalo, right, at all. There is no budget, you know, for somebody from Bangladesh to come in the city of Buffalo and get a loan or get a stipend or get any revenue from the city. What they do is what we should be doing.
As
Me,
blacks.
your brother, your sister, we just came from here and all of us got $5 a piece. We're going to work that $15.
Come on now.
We're going to work that $15 and we're going to get together and we're going to buy one house. There might be 70 of us living in that house, sleeping on floor. But in the next 2 years, we're going to buy 3 more houses. We're going to save our money. We're not going to buy. Here we is. We living in a lane field, and nothing wrong with living in a lane field. Don't get me wrong. But I live in a lane field, and every one of my kids got on a pair of Jordans. And I don't even have a car. But my kids, if you look at their feet, that's $1,000. You understand what I'm saying? And every time the new Jordans come out, my kids got them. You know, so my rent is now $23. So I should be saving my money to buy me a house. You know what I'm saying? I get food stamps and I get Medicaid and all that. So I'm pretty much taken care of. But see, what they'll do, they're not going to buy their kids Jordans. They run around with sandals. You see toes when you walk up and down Broadway, and you walk up. I'm just being real. You see toes, and I'm not a racist, but you see toes in sheets.
Right. No clothes.
Sheets and toes. But when you ride down Sweet Street is now called Medina Avenue, right? And so all those houses that were being dilapidated, were becoming dilapidated. They done fixed those houses up. If you look in front of their houses, they got gardens, they got chickens. You know what I'm saying? And they take what? And they taking care of their property. They're not no better than us. We are the most thoroughest race on the planet. We are the most powerful people in the universe. So we cannot continue to use, you know, excuses. Now, have we been directly affected by racism, systemic, or whatever the case? Of course we have. You know, is this still an after effect of, you know, over 400 years of slavery? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But here it is, you know, you talk about that, but then you'll go spend your money, you know, and I'm not a racist with the Arab. Do you know the Arab slave trade lasted for 1,300 years. Arabs was the first people to enslave blacks, but then you'll go spend your money with it, and they're so smart on the exploitation of black people, so now they done came and occupied our community, right? And now we're still in a form of slavery because they shut their stores down when they want to. On the east side of Buffalo on Sunday, every Arab store is shut down. Now you can't even go buy nothing because a lot of our people can't afford to go to Top. They can't afford to go to that. So here it is, they still taking advantage of our dollar. They taking care of us, but then we won't even, you know what I'm saying, patronize our brother and our sister. And when you don't know your history, you kind of fall short. But those people came through Timbuktu. Those people came through Kemet, and they enslaved black people. They castrated black men so they couldn't reproduce in Africa. So if we don't really talk about, let's talk about, we supposed to support each other, because if we supported one another, we wouldn't have to worry about a grant. Other ethnicities, they don't look for grant money. They will start a fruit stand. And they'll sell apples for 10 years. Next thing you know, they got a grocery store.
Oh, come on.
I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, now listen, I'm not letting nobody off the hook. The mayor, the governor, you know what I'm saying, the president, I'm not letting nobody off the hook. But what I'm saying is we are so dynamic as a people that we can provide self-sufficiency and economic stability for ourselves. Like Trump is the president, and since he's been the president, I ain't been affected in no kind of way because politics is local.
Come on now.
You know, I don't care who the president is. Me and my kids haven't missed a meal. Matter of fact, I look damn good in the Trump administration. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not dependent on that. You know, we have to educate ourselves on policy. We have to educate ourselves on procedure. We have to educate ourselves on what the mayor can and what the mayor cannot do. But one thing about it, what about your council member?
Exactly.
Are you holding your council member foot in the fire? Right? What about your Erie County legislator? Are you holding your Erie County legislator foot in the fire? What about your state senator? Are you holding their foot in the fire? And don't get me wrong, I'm not letting anybody off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pro my people. If you know me, if it's not right, I'm not at those press conferences with the administration. If I don't feel that it's something that benefit my people, you don't see me there. But if it's something that benefit my people, I'm in full support. Like I had a conversation with a friend of mine, y'all know him as Nate Boyd. You know
Oh, come on, I've been trying to reach him.
And so me and Nate Boy was talking, and I said, Nate, you might not like the administration, and the administration don't like you. And he had told me one day I had to make a choice. I've made a choice. My choice is for what right.
That's
so
right.
Nate, when you're doing something that I know that's right, that's why you see me supporting it. And people be like, well, why Kenny is over there with Nate Boy? You know what I'm saying? He worked for the mayor, because what Nate Boy happens to be doing is right for today.
Right.
And what the mayor has to happen to be doing as far as what my agenda is in helping my people, I'm standing with him. As long as it's about the betterment and the quality of life for our people. So we have to we're the only race that do that. Now, you'll have, like we were talking earlier, years ago, black people could not register as a Democrat.
Right.
We were Republicans.
Right.
But them Caucasians came together, you understand what I'm saying, to build up an organization that would allow black people to be exploited by them. I'm going to keep it real. But they'll come together for a common goal. They don't care if you Catholic, if you Baptist, if you Protestant, if you Muslim, if you Christian. When it comes to the common goal, they support one another, right? And that's what we have to do. The common goal is our children are dying. What can we do as a people? You know, so you mean to tell me you can't come holler at me because I'm a non-denominational pastor? I don't believe in denominations. I teach spiritual truth. You're not gonna come to you're not gonna come to my church because I don't got that white dude on my wall. He will never be on my wall. The first thing I did, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and so Mike Scott all the way down in Atlanta said, Kenny, man, you still got that dude on your wall. I said, you know what, ma'am, because I kept it up there because I was educating people on who this dude wasn't. But then I thought about it. Wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? And so we can't let religion, we can't let creed, we can't let culture divide us anymore as a black people. That's why we behind the 8 ball. You know, you got people on Facebook, you know, that's conscious, right? And so the conscious person don't want to deal with the Christian person, and the Christian person don't want to deal with the Muslim person. But see, our common goal is thirst. So if you like Pepsi and I like Coca-Cola, it don't matter. We still quenching our thirst.
Come on
the
now.
thing about it is we're all thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So wherever we gotta quench this thirst, we gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? If you like water, if you like yak, if you like Ciroc, if you like your Tito's, don't make no difference. We have a common goal.
It
So
ain't about black or white, it's about what's right.
It's about what's right. You know, and so that's where I'm at as a pastor, you know, as a community. I don't believe in making excuses. You know, I believe in put my 10 toes down and my boots to the ground.
Come on. Do anybody got any questions before we go any further with Kenny right now?
I'm just getting enlightened.
Because it's to teach you education, man. That's what I told you. With him, you're going to sit quiet. But if we got any questions right now, let's go, Kenny, let's talk about, you were saying like far as the black businesses. Okay, because this is what I want to tell you what we're doing. That's why we're called Strong United Voices. We don't pull no punches. It's uncut here. You understand what I'm saying? And what we want to do is try to reach out. This is what I feel that we here to do is that people that can't speak up. That's why, you know, when we say we like to be educated too. We do our research, as me and you spoke earlier. Media don't know we sell everything. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we getting here, facts and truth. When I said about Mayor Brown, I want you to enlighten us on what is Mayor Brown's position, because we had a podcast show about it, and it was like he was a man in power. I want you to break down to us what is he entitled to do with these police officers, like, you know, with the Kira Horn situation. I'm knowing, you know, he's not supposed to have been the one to fire her, and obviously with some other officials and whatever. But at the end of the day, going forward, what is his position that he can, like when me and you talked earlier, I said, damn, how come he didn't just put a curfew on with all these shootings to shut the shit down? Why is it that he's sitting there like waiting? We at 75 right now. This ain't 75 deaths, it's just 75 shootings. But, you know, we don't know. You know, it's some deaths there. Probably, I'm going to say 15, 20. But why he hasn't stepped up? And I know you can't answer. You can only make your opinion. What I can do is I don't deal with opinions. I deal with facts. Okay. And I can't speak on behalf of the mayor's position. What I can tell you is facts. So when the mayor instilled a curfew, it wasn't to keep the children in the house. It was to keep them safe. Right? Gotcha. And so if you notice, once the mayor lifted the curfew, shootings increased.
This is a fact. Once the mayor lifted the curfew, now you have people, and y'all see it when y'all ride down. It's supposed to be a pandemic, right? You have people. I rolled down counters in Genesee Saturday night. It's like Crenshaw on Boys in the Hood. Every Saturday night. I mean, you go on different streets. You understand what I'm saying? And there are hundreds and hundreds of people congregate. That's because there's no curfew. The curfew was for our safety. It wasn't, you know, for and martial law. You know what I'm saying? And businesses. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about it is, the community asked the mayor. Is a group called Free the People that I kind of facilitated a meeting. Free the People, some powerful young brothers and sisters, right? And they sat down with the mayor at Citizens Action, and they gave the mayor some demands. Out of 13 demands, the mayor told them what his capabilities was as the mayor, right? So as the mayor of the city of Buffalo cannot fire a Buffalo police officer. That is a state law, right?
New York.
That's a New York state law.
Okay.
And so the mayor has to fight with the Buffalo Police Union, but that's the commissioner's job, you know what I'm saying, and the brass of the Buffalo Police Department. But the police department are monitored and governed by the state of New York and the federal government, but they also have the most powerful union in the country, right? So when that white cat, those white police officers that pushed the white dude down, that firing, you know, came through, you know, the Buffalo Police Union. It was not the mayor that fired. It was the suspension. Okay. It came from the Buffalo Police Union, right? And so what happens is, if I'm the police commissioner and I want to, you know, suspend a cop, now he can suspend a cop for 30 days without pay. On the 31st day, he can still be suspended, but he's still on the payroll. That's what the police commissioner could do. But there's always the police commissioner fighting against the police union. And so when they get into a fight, there's an arbitrator that comes in and settle the beef. And whatever the arbitrator recommends, you know what I'm saying, that's what the police department does, you know. And so even with the Carol Horn case, I'm not going to really speak upon that. But there was an arbitrator that came in. Now, should we have had our sister back as a community? You better believe it. And I'm saying this, you know what I'm saying? Of course, can we have absolutely. But you have to know the facts of that case. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that the community don't know about that case, and I'm not going to speak upon. But we still should have our sister back. You know what I'm saying? We still should have. So you have to understand that, you know, the mayor is the manager of the city, right? The mayor has certain budgets, you know, that is earmarked for certain things. So the even the streets, you know what I'm saying, and roads and the sidewalks, you know, that money comes from the state of New York.
Okay, explain
you know
that.
what I'm saying? So that's it comes from the state of New York.
No, but I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Why
and
did they get fixed?
Well, you know, if you see certain roads, you see the roads and the streets that's getting fixed, they've been in line to get fixed. You know what I'm saying? There's there's hundreds and hundreds of streets in the city of Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a budget to fix every street. And I'm not making, you know, any excuse, but the money is generated like this. Like I explained to y'all, in 2010 was the last census.
Census.
We dropped the ball on that. The city of Buffalo lost $1 billion because we did not do the census. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why he was so hard pressed. Every time you turned around, it was a commercial telling everybody to go ahead, fill out your
That's going on now. That's going on now.
Because the city can't get the money that it needs.
We can't get the money.
Do not do your census.
And if you look at, and you can go online and see the budget that was passed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we have budgets for, you know, the police department, we have budgets for community services, we have budget for senior services, you know what I'm saying? And that's not a whole lot of money, right? And then you have budgets for park and recreation. One thing you can see on the east side of Buffalo, our parks have straight makeovers.
Yes,
that's the mayor of the city of Buffalo. We have all new shelters, we have glass backboard. If you look at Martin Luther King Park, that is a state-of-the-art playground.
Yes,
Me being the director of youth and recreation, I sat at the table, you know, with Boom to get that, you know, playground here. If you look at, you know, even our playground.
You did that?
Yeah, I work with an organization called Boom, and we met at the Buffalo Science Museum, and we allowed the kids from the Martin Luther King Park area black kids to design that playground.
Come on.
That's why that playground looks the way it does. That's why we have new shelters, you know, because a budget was put in place, you know. So the thing about it, we have to understand what budgets are, you know, and what the money is earmarked for. And so the thing about it is we have to do the census because that's where the city of Buffalo money comes from, the federal government, right? And so if we don't fill out the census, that shows there's not a need because the population, you know, in September. Also, the city of Buffalo is hiring for sanitation, for parking, for the sewer authority. Also, we have the Northland Corridor training facility. You know, it's like a school. You know, you have a high school diploma. If you don't have it, we'll put you in a GED program through Buffalo Employment and Training Center. Those kids.
Buffalo Training Center, is that back open?
Oh yeah. You can go. You can go to the north. It's on 77 Goodell. You can go to the Northland Training Center and be in a 10-week program, right? And come out of that 10-week program making $28,000 to $32,000 for a 10-week program. Or you can do your college course. They accredit because they're accredited through Alfred State. You can go to college there for 2 years, and when you finish those 2 years, you will be a part of a union. You know, whether it's a carpenter, whether it's plumbing, whether it's electrician, and you come out making $42,000 plus. So this is actual and factual. And Damone Smith, director of BETC, during the pandemic, since May, he has placed 162 people on jobs.
Shout out
you
to
know,
Damone.
so
Shout out to
Damone Smith. So
Damone.
Yeah, so all that is the city of Buffalo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All that is the city of Buffalo. And so one thing I can also say about the city of Buffalo, I don't know about y'all, but when I was younger, there were no black garbage men.
There wasn't.
No, I didn't see
There
that.
were no black police officers that had white shirts on. There were no black firemen when I was a kid. There was two of you might seen Lenny Lang and my uncle out there. But now, like I have a lot of friends. You have a lot of friends that have come home from prison with bodies. You know what I'm saying? Doing 10, 15, 20 years. That's driving. You know what I'm saying? $500,000 equipment for the city of Buffalo because what happened? They took the initiative to do something for themselves.
186.
You understand what I'm saying? You never had, you know, that many.
I mean,
you know,
180. I'm sorry, y'all.
You never had that many African Americans working for the city. You know, and I'm not tooting the mayor's horn enough, but what I'm saying is that those brothers took the initiative to change their lives, and there was something there for them to do.
But the mayor hires them.
Yeah,
he hires.
Oh yeah, the mayor hired. Listen, he hired them.
Right.
You know, but now the police is totally different. You know what I'm saying? Than city jobs. That's a whole total different union. You know, in fire, the mayor don't hire police officers. You know what I'm saying? He don't hire police officers. He don't hire firemen. He don't firefight. Those are two total different unions. You know what I'm saying? Within city government.
Well, here's my thing. We are very appreciative of the information that you have provided. Not only the information you provided, we want to let our callers know. You can call in if you got any questions, if you want to ask, if you want to give your voice, you want to give your opinion. With the phones line to be open for the next couple minutes, we'll keep on talking until we get a call in. If not, this is what we do. We are strongunitedvoices@gmail.com. You can contact us at 259-9718. We got many questions we want to ask right now with the panel. So if y'all got something to shoot at Kenny or suggestions, he's one man, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I wanted to talk about, too, you said that you do the pantries. Where is your church and everything? We don't got no addresses. We don't got no locations for the people that...
The church is 100 Northland, Cold Spring Bible Chapel. We're a real church for real people. You know, it's a come as you are church. And a lot of people talk about people giving to the church and all that. Well, our tithes and offering go straight for the community.
I heard you say that.
If you are in our community, you don't even have to come to our church. You know, if you're having a problem with your rent.
What's your cash app?
Cold Spring Chapel. And so what we do, we send people to trade schools, you know. Like say if you want to become a truck driver and you need $400-something for your CDL. It's our duty as a church to help you get that $400. You know what I'm saying? We have. Like
I know you ain't beating out. And I don't do no competition. But how big is it? And I don't want to be misrepresented. What I'm saying is because how big is your congregation?
Well, I have about 217 members in my congregation, but I got a core of about 125 people. You know, and they a lot of them are boys. You know, a lot of people that.
Nah, that's not my point. Where I'm going. I'm going. With my point is that I'm looking at there's a lot of big churches out here, and I don't hear this.
Well,
I'm not going with competition. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Again, I can't really. I mean, I wouldn't dare, you know, speak to what other pastors are doing or are not doing. But I will say everybody needs to step up.
Come on now.
What I will say is a lot of people on Facebook talking about y'all giving those preachers y'all money. You know, at my church I give. You know, when it's offering time, I had them Benjamins up in the air because I want people to see that this pastor, I'm not giving $20 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping this money in the plate first. You know what I'm saying? I lead by example because, you know, when we do our outreach efforts, that costs money.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When school close time comes, you can go to, we don't believe in, you know, it's good to give away used clothes and stuff like that. I mean, we do have a used clothes pantry, but we want our kids in our community going to school crispy.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So mothers who having it rough, you know, parents who having it rough, you know, we are a church that's a community-oriented church, and we believe in serving the people because in the Word of God, again, you know, the one Christ said, what you do for the least of them is what you do for me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was sick, you came to see me. When I was in prison, you came to visit me. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, you know, I live by that. You know, also, what we did when I first got to the pastor, became a pastor of the house next door to me. I turned it into a rooming house for brothers that was coming home from jail and didn't have no place to stay.
Wait a minute. Now, I'm not trying to be in your business, but
they have to pay nothing.
How did that work? Did you get any kind of grants for this?
No, you don't
or
need
this
grants.
Is just,
No, you don't need grants.
Just
to take
something
care of
that's like
people.
houses that you had already.
Yeah, the house was already there.
Okay,
See, we got to stop begging. We spend more money on Dutches and beer and Newport cigarettes. You understand what I'm saying?
And
Potato chips and
wines.
6 sticker bottles. So you can't tell me that we can't help our people. And so now I didn't need any, you know, documentation from social services and all that type of stuff. You know, so that's one of the first things that I did. You know, as a pastor, and also.
Now, how long you been a pastor?
I just celebrated 7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
Pastor Kenneth Simmons.
And so that's what we do. You know, at our
one
church.
question that I do have.
Yeah.
You know, because we come from the streets, like you said, and
No
understanding it's 2020, it's a different time now.
Right.
What can, I mean, just, you know, any advice you can give us, what can we do as a whole to start supporting more black businesses? Like, what suggestion could we do? I mean, I see y'all doing what y'all doing now, and that's dope.
Yeah.
But for somebody else that don't support, if we can pull them in, or if we can help them understand the power of the black dollar, what can we do?
So what we can do is begin to promote black businesses. Start as an individual going to support black business. And when you get to that black business, give a recommendation. Put up a Facebook stat. You know, we put up a lot of Facebook stats about nonsense. Put up a Facebook stat. You know what I'm saying? I went to Alicia's, you know what I'm saying, hair knitting store. You know what I'm saying? And the prices were good. And she's located at such and such and such. And you know what I'm saying? Stop by. You know what I'm saying? Give her a try. And then also, you know, we have actually a catalog of black businesses. You can go on Facebook and put it up. We have a catalog of black businesses, and everything that everybody else has, we have. But the thing about black business, we tell them, you know, make sure you have an adequate inventory, you know, and don't try to, you know, charge your brother and sister an arm and a leg.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And have a quality product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And have your establishment clean to where folk want to come, and don't have your boys, you know, standing out in front and hanging out in front, and, you know, make your property look nice and stuff like that, so people will feel comfortable, you know, coming to your
Listen
business.
to everything you just said.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Listen to everything you just said, because that's about professionalism. You know what I'm saying? Having that, making people feel comfortable to come in and want to come back and shop again. You know what I mean? And understanding that, and having a good, clean place. People spending their money and they want to bring their kids or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, understand that. So those are some good points there.
Anybody got anything?
This is good information for me because I'm not in the city. I'm not in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm the baby that I made it out, you know, whatever. I had a good background. So, you know, I don't really know. It's good to hear.
Oh, we're going to bring them back because this ain't it. We got to bring them
that
back.
I can go to that I didn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
it's
good
good
place. It's
information.
eateries. You know, we got Sophisticated Soul right there on.
Oh, we know about them.
Right there. You know
Oh,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying?
that's Genesee,
Right
right?
there on Genesee.
Sophisticated
Soul.
They got brothers.
Well, they came from
Brothers is
Brothers,
phenomenal.
and that we gotta get them on.
You got Janae Sinqua. Well, here
Shout
it
out
is.
to Wing King.
You know, and then
Yeah,
also
Wing
Kings.
we have right there on Jefferson between High and Carlton. You know, we have a sister that just opened up a vegan spot.
We don't know nothing about
Right
it. See,
there
that's why-
on Jefferson.
And
Right.
see,
No, that's right of mine.
Now, see,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what I was trying to tell when me and Kenny had a conversation with the young man that he was talking to. And my thing was to me and Kenny talk for a minute, and I told him, I said, he said, you lived in Buffalo area? I said, yeah. If it's no need for me to go in that part of the town, I'm not going. So I
Right.
wouldn't know nothing about it.
Right, right,
so
right.
everything takes word of mouth. He said,
Right.
I didn't think about it
Yeah, see,
like
we
that.
talked about that.
Right.
So it's just that it's not being uneducated of my black people. It's just that I would love to support my black people.
Right.
But and it's not a racism thing. It's, you got your white people and you got your black people. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, and I gotta say this because I got to get this on my chest right quick. Pine Hill,
Oh.
that place right there, that's black owned. People been supporting it for years.
Yes,
It's not a person at this table can tell me they went there, they got their order, they was out, they went there, you got your wrong order and they out, because some people get too comfortable in the business and they feel we got the best fish, we got the best shrimp, we got. So now
They do.
you take.
They do,
No,
don't they?
listen, we can't knock them, Kenny.
Yo,
Listen, and you put up with the bullshit. I'm sorry, you put up with
But
the
you don't want to
but
go
I'm-
and wait for an
Come
hour
on,
for,
man.
for your food.
Come
And
on,
that's
man.
what they make
So
you
that's
do.
what I'm doing now.
And then you want to, if my shrimps was jumbo on Saturday,
Why is
I
that
want it to
baby
be
on
jumbo
Friday?
on Tuesday.
But
I mean,
this is what I'm bringing up.
Right, right.
And this is what we here to do, Kenny. I'm showing
Keep
you
it
what
100.
Strong United Voices
Keep
is
it
here to
100.
do. We are here to be that voice, and we here to get educated. See, we ain't here like we know everything.
Right,
we
right,
here to
right,
get
right.
like what you taught us today. We value. Like
Shout
I got to keep you close.
Yeah.
Right.
You
That's
have a whole
necessary.
black plaza right there on Jefferson. You got the
Oh, yeah,
vegan
we know about
restaurant.
that.
You got
We know
Mr.
about that.
That's where the vegan restaurant is at.
Wait a minute.
Jefferson.
And you're not talking about where the plaza at.
I'm talking about Jefferson.
Mike's Lounge.
No, I ain't talking about that. Them Chinese people and Family Dollar.
Okay, that's all.
Well,
Okay.
I'm talking about a black plaza on High Street, between High Street and Carlton, right?
Oh,
you have
yeah.
the sister that
Sugar D's. And all
Sugar
that?
D's.
Yeah, shout out
That's
to
a
her,
mean.
too.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the little sisters that I used to mentor, Sugar D.
man,
Yeah, she
D.
was one of my mentees. So you got the sister with the vegan. You got Dr. Lacey with Mr. Combs, right? Then you got the brothers with the Jamaican restaurant. Then you got Sugar D. And then
Oh,
you
brothers
got
and
Copper Jack.
Jamaicans?
So tell me about this Jamaican. Someone said
Brothers is
something
Jamaican?
about
No,
the
I said
Jamaican
you got the
restaurant
brothers
before.
that
Oh,
are Jamaican.
but not the
Yeah,
restaurant.
Right,
I
right,
told
brothers.
you about the Jamaican restaurant before, and I had no clue. I was like, listen, the only Jamaican restaurant I know is the one on Main Street.
No, I mess with
No, they got
Calypso's.
Calypso.
Calypso's the best to
No,
me,
no,
baby. I'm
it-
sorry.
But you gotta go on Jefferson.
Okay,
I like
I-
Calypso's too, but you
You
gotta
had
go on
Calypso's?
Jefferson.
But see, that's the
I
thing,
eat
I
all
didn't
of
know
them.
it was on
Yeah, you got,
Jefferson.
and then you got Sugar D's. That's phenomenal. That little
Tell
girl,
you, I
that
keep
listen,
hearing
she
about
had
it,
some
man.
cabbage.
Shout out to
That
her.
was
Yeah.
crazy.
Shout out
And
to
I'm
her.
I love cabbage, right? And then you got the barber shop right there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What's the barbershop?
Carl and Jeff.
Carl and Jeff?
Yeah,
So
that's
sweet
a
because
legendary
what he just said
barbershop.
was we had a black plaza.
A black plaza.
Oh,
So
man.
Lil
You
Dude
can't take
clearly
that
wasn't
back.
from the city of Buffalo, and still haven't seen him nowhere since. And so you have agent provocateurs, that will come in. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, like this, white people ain't killed Malcolm X. You understand what I'm saying? It was agent provocateurs that came in and fingered that brother. So we got to understand that, a lot of people, that's in our community is not for our community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some
They just
people
there to
have
get the money.
selfish agendas.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Motives.
To benefit themselves. They don't care nothing about you. So I asked one brother, saying he was done. I said, well, why you done? It's work to do. We should do one thing white people do, they save their money for their grandkids.
Yes, they do. They
Right?
do.
That's why I like what Beyonce said. She said her great-great-great grandkids is rich.
Ah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah.
So what are we doing now for my 4 granddaughters? You know what I'm saying? What am I doing for my 4 granddaughter? I'm putting money up. No, I heard mama, if you need something, yeah, poo-poo, I got you. That's my daughter.
Right.
But you got a man right now.
Exactly.
If you need daddy is on the one.
Right.
But I got to worry about these granddaughters. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You know,
right.
I don't want them dependent on nobody. You know,
Next
they gotta
generation.
have
Right.
trust funds. They gotta have money put up for school.
Right,
They
right.
gotta be
Yes,
comfortable.
sir.
What are we doing for the generation after? You know what I'm
Right,
saying? This
right.
generation. That's how they think.
Right.
That's how they keep money within
Right.
them. A
And
lot
they
of
do.
money you see in Buffalo when it comes to Caucasians, that's old money.
It's money and it's credit, y'all.
Come on, man.
Y'all gotta
See,
get that credit
right.
together.
Think
That,
about
that
that
credit
credit.
is
And
something
teach your
serious.
kids. That's
Yes,
what I do
yes.
with my Mayor
Yes.
Summer Youth. You know, I don't just have my Mayor Summer Youth cleaning. So myself, and I thank God for Mercedes. She has came on board with me with the Mayor
Now,
Summer
who's
Youth.
that?
Mercedes.
And she's from?
The Queens. They call themselves the Queens, but she's a member of my church. And so what we do, we have a brother named Pharaoh Page. Pharaoh Page bought the old Turner High School, right? And he's turning that into a multi-recreational complex,
Oh, okay.
right? He
That's what's
also have purchased the old arena, right?
Okay. So he
he's turning
redid that
so
just
so
recently,
yeah.
right?
And so what we do, we take our kids to people like Pharaoh Page, so he can talk to them about, you know, being a business owner and not an employee.
Right.
You know, we sit down. We have Tiffany Lewis. You know.
Okay, we got a caller in. We're just gonna go into that and see what's going on. Caller, you online?
Hello. Man. I'm gonna get my insight on some black businesses.
Black businesses. Okay.
First of all, I'd like to say y'all doing a good job. And I really acknowledge the SUV podcast. I want to give a shout out to Perfection by John T. I mean, he's been in the black-owned business for a long time. He's doing his thing. Anybody need landscaping done around the town, the suburban town, the whole western New York? And I'd like to give him a shout out because he does a good job. And how y'all doing up there anyway?
Okay, we good. And thank you for calling in and giving us that. And his name is John. You said John Wealth?
Oh, no doubt. And my man, Kenny, that's my man. I know him from the streets. He's a good dude. Good dude.
Okay. All right. No problem. No
Big
problem.
hugs to you. Thank you, bro.
Danny, tell him I said what's up, and I appreciate everything you're doing out there for the black community, man.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, big bro.
problem,
Appreciate you,
and
man.
Like you said, we need to get these guns off the streets. You
That's
know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
Hey, it's a long road to do it, but we gotta do it.
Yeah, you gotta start them somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep, and we appreciate you, caller, calling in for that. And we still. Okay, honey, it looked like you.
Black-owned business, upgrade boys, they remodel your house and everything.
Upgrade boys. Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah, shout out to them.
Remodel your house and everything.
Okay.
That's what's
All
up.
right. All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
your
caller.
call.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
one.
Have a
Be
good
safe.
day. All right. Bye bye.
Shout
Okay.
out to the caller that called up. Y'all
Yeah.
can call in right now, 716-259-9718.
They already gave a shout out to Kenny. Okay, wait a minute, because he lost me. Now, what was we on here? We was on. What were you saying?
He was
I
talking
got
about
a
Sharon
question.
Page.
Okay,
Okay.
well, let's go there.
I know we shouting out black-owned business,
Right.
but what do you? How can the allies, you know, white people that might say, you know what, we with it, we want to show our kids how to interact with black people, stuff like that, enlighten them, you know. I mean, how would you recommend breaking that chain?
I'm kind of like Malcolm X.
Well, I mean,
Don't they
Right.
go to school together?
Right now,
I'm just saying, white people
Right now,
only know you from
you know
the
what I'm saying?
newspaper.
But right now, I'm worried about my people.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know,
One step at a time.
I mean, like, you know, I mean, right now we got to get our house in order.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you know, if they want to come and be a part of, you know what I'm saying? I mean, right now we got to get our house in order. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one thing about it, you know, we have, and I'm not saying all Caucasians are bad, but time is out, you know, for, you know, expecting, you know, your oppressor to do something for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that all Caucasians are bad because they now got a lot of Caucasian friends, but right now I'm worried about, you know, Mikey.
Okay.
You know
Well, what
I'm saying?
about
I'm worried about
generational wealth?
Well, I mean, they got that. You know what I'm saying? We got to start, generating generational wealth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my thing, as far as us, we the richest poor people in the world.
We
You know
are.
what I'm saying?
At the same time.
I'm just saying, we got brothers in our, and that's why I don't want to hear that, black people can't do this. We got brothers in our neighborhoods driving Maseratis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All you see is BMW trucks, caddy
Yeah,
truck.
right. Yeah,
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? That's all you see. You seeing brothers driving around, with Maybachs. Just look at our community, but we're not investing in it.
Right.
One thing about it, we have become so materialistic, that we worry too much about the shine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got a brother that will pull up, in a $90,000 car. He still live with his mama.
Thank you. It's okay to be
You know
dumb.
what I'm saying?
No. What
Yeah.
he's saying is things that I feel like we kind of brainwashed in a way because we worried about the wrong things.
Yes, sir.
And it should be a $90,000 house you pull
That's
into.
right.
Right.
You
That's
see,
right.
so and that's what it is too. We built off of materialistic things, but I feel like we could refocus and understand it's cool to have that. And I feel like we've been stripped away from a lot of things, as far as materialistic things and diamonds and jewelry. So we feel like we gotta have it. And it's a must because we come from that of being kings and queens,
But,
so at this time we have to focus and readjust the thinking and understand it's bigger than that, and it's about legacy, and it's about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, and that car is not going to help you for that, but that land, that real estate, that property will though. So that's what it's about, understanding that and growth and resources and leadership and building together to build that nation, to create those properties, to own that building on that street or own that street. You see, it's bigger than jewelry and all that other stuff. So I understand. I agree with you 100%.
So you have to understand one thing about our African kings. You know what I'm saying? When they had their gold and they had their stuff, their kingdom, you know what I'm saying, was doing well.
Right.
It wasn't just them. It showed the power. You know what I'm saying, and the economic stability of their kingdom. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't for them just to show out. It wasn't just for them to be able to show up to the club and have bling. They wanted to show them that they were the most powerful kingdom in that land at that time, and that the people were wealthy and that the people weren't an impoverished people. You know what I'm saying? And so we talked about the media earlier. It's media that has us brainwashed, right? Okay, that's why I don't read the Buffalo News, right? Because the Buffalo News make black people look like Neanderthal cave savages, but ain't nobody down there protesting the Buffalo News. They don't never have anything good to say about any black person in the city of Buffalo.
No.
Like, for instance, Mr. L. Nathan Hare, who is the CEO of the Community Action Organization, he took that organization over, and there's like $3-something million in debt. Right? After he took it, they took over several community centers. They came with the nurture program. They paid the insurance for the Little League football. There's so much, all the CAO Head Starts is flourishing. You know what I'm saying? All over Erie County, to the point where they done took over Niagara County. But they want to make it look like that he's not doing a good job, and there's 700 and but might be 840 African American people that's employed by the CAO. So how in the hell is he not doing a good job? And so then you will have black businesses. You don't see the Buffalo News promoting our black businesses.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They charge us an arm and a leg, to advertisement.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They talk about, the killers and the shooters, but I'm going to tell you like this, there has to be a paradigm shift in our way of thinking, right? So they said 1 out of 4 kids, let's say, for instance, just hypothetically speaking, 1 out of 5 kids will not graduate from high school. Well, hell, what about the 4 that is?
Yeah.
Can we start saying 4 out of 5 kids are going to graduate from high school?
Exactly.
Come on now. Can we start speaking like that? You know what I'm saying? We too busy focused on the negative. You know what I'm saying? 3 out of 10 black men, you know what I'm saying, going to go to prison. Well, 7 not.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Come on, when are we going to stop? But see, we got society that have us thinking that nonsense, and that silliness. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you might have, let's say they says that 8 out of 2 black kids are not going to graduate from high school. 8 did.
Right.
So let's just think about those things. We got to begin to change the way we talk. We got to be able to change the way we dialogue. You know what I'm saying? And we got to deal with facts. We as a people, we are too emotional.
Yeah.
We got to stop being
Human
emotional.
period.
And,
Human period.
and we got to deal with the facts. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with facts and what we need to do as a people to become self-sufficient and self, reliant. And that's what we should be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good to rally. It's good to protest. Even, sometimes riot and get people attention. But when the smoke clears and when the dust settles,
What you gonna
what
do
are
after
we
that?
going to do? What are you going to do?
I feel like the more that we realize that we got, the power, it's 2020, so the resources is there, the information is there. It's just about reading and understanding and putting it together. So I feel like, we have a time right now where it's multiple black billionaires that we have at this time. We never had that before. So it's showing that it's possible for it to happen. And with that, I feel like we just need to understand and have more belief and understand that faith and motivate it. You know what I'm saying? That and the black dollar and supporting each other will get us that.
It's not
Because
fake news.
Fake news is just something that's just out there that
Stop
just
with
blinds
Facebook
us. You know what I'm
news.
saying?
Making
Yeah.
them just
I
say
just
fake
feel
news.
like as a whole, as a team, we can do it. We can make it happen. Like you said, when them stores shut down, we supposed to be able to have stores.
Walk
I'm
into
gonna
a
go right
store.
over here.
Right.
I'm gonna go right over here.
And
It's
then
just
why
not
would you
here.
support like my thing about it? If you look at the stores, from different ethnicities in our community, look at the Arab stores, right? For instance, they don't even employ black people, but they got
Oh no, they
everything.
got one that might get out and clean.
No.
You a cleaner.
Yeah, but that's just Shamel. That's Pop off Berry. That's Pop. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, when you look in the store, that's my man. That was my best friend growing up. But what I'm saying is, when you go into an Arab store, there are no black people working, but they're selling us everything that we need. So I did a study about 3 years ago on a man that owns Legacy. He owns Hair World. He owns
Hair World?
Oh, right on Bailey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he owns Legacy. He owns Hair World. What's the other one next door to it? Sky's the limit, and he owns Farm Fresh.
Yeah.
After he paid, and he owns 4 of those stores, right? You know what I'm saying? And they got Imperial. I mean, just think about it.
Look what they did in
We ain't talking about
Listen,
Imperial.
They got the whole
Let me tell you
plaza
something.
now. They own the whole plaza.
After this man paid everybody, after he paid his taxes, and this was like 3-4 years ago, he took $1.5 million in profit
Shut your
from our
mouth.
community.
In the community. Yeah.
And they got a meat shop in the back
And
of it
not
now.
one black person is employed in those stores.
No.
We should have
It
a
is
problem
black
with that.
person in the Sky's the Limit. Is it Sky's the Limit? What's the Hair World?
Okay.
It is a black lady in there. I did meet her. It was last year.
I ain't seen it.
I did see a
one
black
out of
woman in there.
4.
I'm just saying, I did see a black woman.
Well,
And I talked to her.
he probably go with her.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
possibility.
just saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably
But they don't get no prop for that one because
Right.
when you go in there, we buy everything in it. They have cornered the market in our community. You can go to an Arab store, you can get an outfit, you can get a chicken wing, you can get some hair, you can pay the numbers,
Right.
Get
and you
everything.
can get a
Like,
drink.
we gotta take
Anything.
that back. We should take that
Shit.
money and put it back into our communities.
And that's
So-
where we at now. That's just what
So
he's
we
speaking
have to
about.
we have to flip that narrative
Well,
and
that's
say,
it.
you know, we got the meat market in the back to cut you up some meat.
Well, what we're doing with Black Wall Street,
Black Wall Street.
and our chairman, Buck Miller,
Buck
is
Miller.
the
That's
chairman
right here.
of our of Black Wall Street. What we're doing now, we plan on setting up our first poultry venture. So what we're gonna do, fresh produce and poultry. What we're gonna do, we are going down to Pennsylvania, and we just gonna ride like we looking for a plug for some dope.
Okay.
And we gonna find us a farm
Uh-huh.
with some Amish, and we're gonna go down there with a stack.
Okay.
And we're gonna come back with fresh fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for a storefront right now, but we made up in our mind, even if we don't have a
put it out
storefront,
in
we
front of-
gonna pull up.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna build us some racks, we're gonna build us some shelves, and we're gonna set up fresh produce and stuff. And then from that, we want to evolve that into a fresh produce and poultry store. And from that, what we're looking to do, what we're gonna do a co-op so that people in the community can invest. You know what I'm saying? In a co-op. So that's the type of stuff we have to do
Great
to be
idea.
proactive.
Great
You know what I'm
idea.
saying?
We
And
with
keep
you,
our
Kenny.
black dollar.
We
You know,
with you.
because that's what they do. We can go down, you know, to the Amish with $1,000 and come back with a U-Haul
Yes,
full of
yes.
cabbage, beans,
Okay.
potatoes,
Okay.
grapes. And then even if we start simple like that, because
And
you
that's
gotta
what you
look
gotta
at
start
it.
small, and
Maddie
big.
and Butch started with a hot dog
Come on
company.
now.
did.
Come on now.
They sure
And
did.
that-
And they
that's-
went to the airport.
And they had a shop in the airport
And then
and
they
Maddie.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of what
Yeah.
I was
Gotta start from
saying,
somewhere.
because
Right.
it goes back to that. You just kind of confirmed it, that of what we need. Because what if we could have went to our own
That's what we got to
farm
start doing, yeah.
and
That's
got
what
it from you? See what I'm saying? That's what we
That's right.
need.
That's
This is
right.
what's
Yeah.
that we lacking. This is our flaws. I feel like we just need to turn our weaknesses to our strengths.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Or we can strengthen our weaknesses. You know what I mean? And that's where it's at. The land, property, real estate. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Community centers for these kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things that we can have black owned. So shout out to everybody that you brought awareness
Listen,
to.
I just want to get back to this gun thing, right? 9.5 million guns were sold in March, April, and May, right?
Wow.
An 80% increase from last year because of the COVID-19 panic. You know what I'm saying? And so these gun dealers have sold so many guns, you know what I'm saying, during the time of pandemic, and guess where they ended up? In the black community, right? And so we have to understand where these guns, you know, are coming from. And these are just some notes, you know, that I take, you know, from my research, you know, and stuff like that. So we have to be well aware, you know, that it's a pandemic with COVID, but it's a pandemic in our community.
And that's what I
You
bring to
understand
the
what I'm
attention.
saying? And,
Yes.
and we have to understand that. And people keep forgetting about what's going on.
Right.
And I need for people to know that COVID is not powerful than God.
That's
No, it's
right.
COVID is not more powerful than unity.
That's
You know,
right.
we even giving that, we give everything more power than it deserves.
Right.
You know,
All right. So there you have it. This is not gonna be your first or last visit. I might be calling you next week because it was so much education to all of us. He hit different topics, different views. Again, this is Pastor Kenneth Simmons, Kenneth Smith Simmons as we know him. Ken, Cold Springs. Again, Ken, if you want to give them your church information again on where you
Cold Spring
located,
Bible Church is
address.
100 Northland, right there between Maston and Jefferson. And also, I'm the director of youth and recreation for the city of Buffalo. So if you have, you know, any questions about youth and recreation, anything like that, you can reach me at 851-6582.
Repeat it again.
851-6582.
Okay.
You know, and so if you're having any issues with youth, recreation, mayor, summer youth, anything that deals with the youth in the city of Buffalo, you can give me a call or you can email me at ksimmons@city-buffalo.com.
Okay. All right. And so at the closeout, anybody got anything to say? Anybody want to bring anything to their
I do have a
attention?
question. I want to know, how can anyone, if they want to become affiliated with you or join in your cause by you being the director of the youth recreation, can anyone want to come in and help?
Just call me.
Just call
I welcome all help, but just make sure your motives is right.
the motives are right.
You know what I mean? I
Say
mean,
it.
like we need, like right now. See, a lot of people be talking that stuff about what's not going to city. Right now, we have what we call play streets, right? That we do
Play
with community service and the police athletic league. We actually take our program to the streets. Like right now, they're on Roosevelt, right? At Roosevelt Park, right?
Okay.
And we take the balls, we take the bats, you know, we take the frisbees, and because there is a quarantine, we're showing kids how to play the games that we used to play.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they
Horseshoe.
Right.
They
How about horseshoe?
They got
Right.
horseshoe.
Right.
They throwing the frisbee. They even doing hopscotch.
Ah,
You know, little stuff
nice,
like that.
nice,
You know what I'm
Taking
saying?
them back
You know,
to-
taking them back. And
Good
so
fun, clean
that's
fun.
a city program, right? And we also have our net team, the Buffalo Police net team. Is 20 officers that actually ride. They don't have shotguns in their trunk. They have footballs in their trunk.
Ah,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Okay.
They have water balloons in their trunk. They might get out with the kid and give all the kids some water balloons and have water balloon fight. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of things that's going, you know, on in the city. You know, even right now during this pandemic with our Mayor Summer Youth program, you know, we still have 300 kids that we've hired that businesses in our community won't even let our kids work. You understand what I'm saying? We can't, some of our barbershops, some of our beauty parlors, you know, some of our stores, we are actually paying the kids to work in their stores.
Come on now.
We're paying the kids to work in their stores.
Right.
You know, and businesses in the black community won't even allow the kids. Now, these kids are trained. You understand what I'm saying? These kids have been through orientation. You know what I'm saying? These kids are in school. You know, and people know about a lot of this information is public. You know, a lot of this information, you know, is shared, but people only talk about what they want to talk about.
Right.
You know, all these people on Facebook doing their researches on research on stuff so they can bring false information and mislead the people. They know the real deal of what's going on that's positive. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't watch the news, and that's why I don't comment on a lot of Facebook, because there's more positive things going on in the black community than negative things. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? You did it. Just nailed it on the head, which we were just talking about, because at the end of our closing show, we had to bring up things about people graduating. That was our closing. So right now, I want to let everybody know, again, Kenneth Simmons, and then he's at the Cold Spring Chapel as his Cash App. Anybody want to donate or participate? He got great things going on. And this won't be his last visit to us. Right now, nobody has nothing else to say. We want to reach the phones line out again. It's 259-9718. Right now, we'll get back at y'all Wednesday. We got another guest, but Kenny, we want you to come back, because education is the best thing. And being with you today, it welcome. Like, he's not from here or out here, and everybody got their own style. And again, as I said to you, I don't come somewhere that I don't need to go.
Right.
If I don't need to go on Genesee, I don't need to go on Genesee. So it's not a lack of education. But in this field that I'm doing right now, I need to promote everything for everybody. Black owned. And that's what we're doing now. And that's what this podcast, so if you can send people to us, we're going to reach out. I got a lot of names that you told me about. We're going to reach out to them black businesses because we want to promote them. We want to let it know. At the end of the day, there's a Be Great clothing line that it took Sheila Brown and Marnetta Malcolm to expose that. Well, they exposed the Be Great clothing line because, again, that was a black-owned young man, entrepreneur, and we're going to have all clothing lines on here because he ain't never been in competition with nobody. It's all about us sticking together as one. So at the end of the day, we're going to have, next week, it's going to be all about the clothing lines that's coming out, that's upcoming, and we supporting them, we wear them, whatever it takes. Just to let you know, what Kenneth Simmons said here today, we all here to stretch out our hand to black businesses and all businesses when it comes down to it. But right now, we got to stick on our focus first at this time. So if you got anything you want to talk about, anything, any topics, anything you want to comment, again, 259-9718. Support us again at strongunitedvoices@gmail.com. Kenny, you want to close us out with anything?
No, just, stop talking and start walking.
That's
Yes.
it. What's that word?
Stop talking and
Stop talking.
Stop talking.
Yeah, we got too many people doing a whole lot of talking and you're not doing anything. You're not helping out. You got a lot of opinions. Deal with the facts. Get out here and help somebody be better than what they were.
Come on now. Come on. All right, so we'll see y'all on Wednesday. We got another guest coming out here, y'all. Tune in. We going live every day. Call in.
I'm trying to make a living.